Good morning. This is Javier Franco, Steps for Success, life coach, perspective from my porch. I'm here at my little flea market here in Sweetwater. The reason I wanted to come on here, I have some things that I want like to talk about. Every now and then, I'll do different things about my perspective from my porch. This week has been a really blessing. Has been a big blessing in my life. There's been a lot of things that are going on. I've seen a lot of changes in some people that I've known for a while. I've seen a lot of changes. Uh, some of these people that I've seen changes on have been going to church, have become religious, have become Christians, have changes that are dramatic in many ways. And a lot of times we see people like that. Now, I'm not talking that a lot of people have a religious experience and they change. There's a lot of people who go out there and have an experience and they decide that it's time to make the change. I was told one time that in order for you to lose weight, you have to first decide that it's time for you to lose weight, that it has to be your decision and not anybody else's decision. And that goes back to us thinking to ourselves, who am I here to please? Am I here to please my friends? Am I here to please others? Who am I here to look at? Once we make a decision to make changes in our lives, and that is up to us, that is for us, not for anybody else. I think we learn to succeed, and I think we learn to become better people. In the weight category, there's times that I myself have just said, okay, I'm going to stop eating the following things, and I stop because it's for my own good. Uh, there's times that I want to change certain things, and it's a difficult process because of the physical factors and health factors that come in mind. But otherwise, in order for us to become a different person, we have to first make that decision. Any person who has gone through an alcohol related substance abuse, any kind of substance abuse, um, their first their first thing is they have to admit that they are abuser of alcohol or drugs or whatever, pornography, whatever they abuse. Um, and some people think about those things, but also there's also other habits that have to be broken. That people abuse, gambling. I had a friend that had to stop drinking Dr. Peppers. She was literally addicted to Dr. Peppers, and for health wise, she had to stop and start doing something different. But it didn't occur until she made that decision in her mind. So there's addictions, all kinds of addictions, shopping addictions. Hoarders become addicted to buying stuff. Um, but once you make that decision to change your life, once you make that decision to change certain behaviors, that's when I guess like a reality occurs. I guess it happens that you want to make that change. You have to make that change internally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You have to make that change for your own good. A lot of the men that I've been talking to, it's a great bunch of men. They are all tough men. They're all men that if you see them coming at you, you might think, okay, what are they up to? But actually, they will go out and pray for somebody. They will all go out and witness to somebody. They'll address them. Uh, there's that change. But there's always going to be those people who do not believe in those changes that these people had. Recently, I had an encounter with a person, and they were very negative about these men who have been changing. And this is happening in our community. It's a beautiful change. That I've dealt with a lot of at risk youth, a lot of at risk people who um, at some point nobody gave them an opportunity, nobody believed in them, and somebody had to believe in them. But the most important part is that they had to believe in themselves. So a lot of these guys that I see starting to change are kids that I have dealt with, young men who I've dealt with, young men who I have seen go through hell and back pretty much, and they're changing and making that change. But once again, there's always going to be somebody in society, somebody that does not believe that these changes can occur, basically because they have not experienced those changes in their lives. Uh, and when you talk to explain to them, well, this is the reason they're changing. This is the reason, and they say, no, that's just not wrong, and they use words that I will not use. Uh, and they refuse to see the changes, and it doesn't have to be a spiritual change. It doesn't have to be something that you also start going to church, which is great if you do start going to church. It's amazing if you start going to church, but at the same time, I know some people. I visited with a young lady not too long ago that she made that change. That she made that change to go from using alcohol, using drugs, using everything that was that was a substance abuse, to being a productive member of society in a good way. Now, I'm not saying alcoholics and drug addicts cannot be productive members of society, because I've seen some, but this person changed her mental emotions. She's changed her walk. She changed her friendship, and she's becoming stronger and stronger as time goes by. She's just getting stronger and stronger. So those changes are being made, and I spoke with her, and you can see the light in her eyes. You can see something in her eyes. I always tell people that a lot of times when you look at people, you can see the darkness or the emptiness in their eyes. And somebody asked me, "How does that look?" I said, "It's scary to look at somebody." And I've been around people who it's scary to watch them, um, to see their eyes, the emptiness, the young people with an empty uh, face, an empty eye. There's nothing. There's not a glow there. And if when you first see it, you understand it. It's hard to describe. But when people make a change, uh, they lose support of other people because they don't believe in them. Um, if you know somebody who has changed, or you know somebody who's wanting to change, somebody who's trying to change, support them, uh, encourage them, praise them, be with them when they need you. I know a young couple that, and I could go on and on about people that I know. I know a young couple who I have seen them in the worst condition, but you know what? People believed in them. People prayed for them. People were sat there with them, and and now they are amazing, amazing couple, and the way they've changed over the last few years is great. They both have good jobs, and I know she does. She probably wants a different job, but it's a good job nonetheless. Um, so I guess what I'm saying is, as I started viewing people and the changes they made, I also see the people who are against them, the people who are talking about bad about them. There's no way they'll go back. They'll go back. They'll go back. Uh, Instead of saying, "Well, I wish I could be like that," instead they bash them and they talk bad about them, and they just disassociate themselves and get deeper and deeper. We all know somebody like that. It's our job as Christians, as good people, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what your religious background is. I don't care what your beliefs are. It's up to us to become supportive of the people who are trying to do their best. I associate with people who don't believe in God. I associate with people who do believe in God. I associate with all kinds of nationalities. I associate with all kinds of economic status, people from poor to rich. Um, but the thing that gets me is when they come in here or they come into my life and they fully support me in the endeavors that I have. I don't look at their religious background. I don't look at their background. Pretty much, I know their background. They know my background, but they're here to encourage me. I don't think I could have this business that I have or the life that I have without the support of people from all walks of life. And it takes all kinds of people to make you a success. I believe that in order for us to be strong, I believe that in order for us to be uh, not weak minded but strong minded, we have to have people of all all beliefs and all creeds and all, just a well-rounded friendship. Like I said, I deal with a lot of people who go to church, a lot of Christian men, a lot of Christian women, uh, and they give me a lot of support. They give you a lot of support. They pray for me. They're there for me. But at the same time, I'm not gonna not love the people who are not in that religious sect, in that Christianity bunch. I'm not just not gonna love those other people who don't believe in the same thing I do. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna probably love them a little bit more because they need to see the love that God has put in me. I think that sometimes we become an exclusive club, and because of, we know their background, we know their language. I have friends that cuss like a sailor, but you know what? When I tell them, or ask them, hey, try not to use those words, they respect me, and I'm not gonna bash them for it. They're just, I say, hey, I don't like those words. Just try to curtail them, and they do, and because they know I'm a good friend, because they know I'm not gonna judge them, and I think that's one of the things that we do is we judge people. So I guess what I'm trying to say right now is be be a good example, be a supportive friend, be somebody who's going to be there regardless of what the person is going to be. Don't be these people who say, well, so and so, they're just playing the game. No, they're not playing the game. They wanted to change. If you can't change, then I'm sorry, but these people want to change, and there's people that need to change, and we just have to love those people who talk bad about us, and we just have to love and support them in some form or fashion, hoping and praying that they will also change, and that they will encounter those changes in a positive manner. Javier Franco, Perspective from My Porch. We'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all.